The string class split method is used to break apart a string based on a delimiter, a character that separates the different parts. Often that's a comma separated value or a tab delimited value. So commas and tabs are the most common. We're not limited to that. But in this example, I have my CSV standing for comma separated value, equals apple, comma, banana, comma, cherry. Then I dimmed an array as string, and then my array equals my CSV.split, and in the parentheses, the argument I'm passing is a string of a comma. And the result is that string is split on that comma, and the different fields or different values of that string are placed in my array in the different elements. So element 0 of my array becomes apple, element 1 becomes banana, and element 2 becomes cherry. Now I said oftentimes we'll see tabs, but I'm not limited to tabs. One I use sometimes is a section sign. And so here my string equals apple, section sign banana, section sign cherry. And then I'm dimming my array again, and I'm splitting it based on that section sign. I get the same results. Frequently we'll use String.Split in reading data from a text file where in each row of a text file are multiple fields, and we can separate those fields based on some type of delimiter. We'll look at that more in the next lesson on structures. To demonstrate the split command, I created a simple application with Visual Basic in Visual Studio. And on the left-hand side, I have a label called LBL string 1, and its contents is unusual, comma, Stan, comma, St. Louis. So this is a comma delimited text value. My button then is going to split those items on the comma and put those in these three labels. And that's what we see happen. On the second example, I have a text box where I've populated it with 4 numbers that are tab separated. And we can use VB tab as our character. So in this button, txtspring2.split VB tab, we'll take those 4 values and put those 4 values in my 4 different items. And the last one, as I said, I often use characters such as a vertical bar or a section sign or other symbols that aren't used very much. I might do this because I don't want to do comma separated values, because this first value is actually the last name comma first name. So I don't want to separate these by commas because I really intend this to be only 3 values. So I create my data with a vertical bar, and I'm going to split it on the vertical bar. Now notice there is spaces in front of and behind those, so I'm going to use the trim command to get rid of those spaces. The result is I get player, Ruth comma Babe, Yankees as the team, and 714 as the number of home runs. Let's jump over the code. Pretty straightforward here. In the form load, I'm creating my txt string with the tabs because I can't put tabs in the properties. So I create my text property with tabs in it on form load for that txt string 2. btn split comma, I'm simply splitting on the comma and putting the 3 values that goes into the fields array into LBL last name, first name, and team. On the tab, again, I'm just using VB tab as my character and assigning those 4 values from the values array to my 4 labels. And then on the split bar, I'm splitting on the vertical bar, but oftentimes there might be some spaces in front of or behind some of our data. So if you don't know how the data is organized and you're questioning if there might be some spaces, then I would suggest taking the array element and using .trim. And that'll trim all those spaces out. We could have also split this on the space vertical space. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.